represent you.
Leonard, you've been invited to speak at the Japanese Businessmen's Association dinner on Tuesday. Do you want to accept?
Oh, of course. I love the Japanese people, the wonderful way they've assimilated themselves into our culture. Why, today they're as American as apple strudel. Harriet, I want you to write me a terrific, sensational, fantastic speech.
Do my best.
Oh, Supervisor Valenti is invited to speak at that same dinner.
Valenti invited too? Harriet, you know that terrific, sensational, fantastic speech you're going to write?
Yeah.
I'm afraid you're going to have to do better.
Yes, Mama. All right, so I didn't send her a birthday card. She's my second cousin. Anyway, what do you do? Call up every one of our relatives and check and see if I send them a birthday card? You do? Look, Mama, I'll send her a card next year. What do you mean, how do I know there'll be a next year? She's only 8 years old. Okay, Mama, I'll call her up and apologize to her. Yes, I love you, Mama. Mothers, I'm 45 years old and she still pushes me around.
And you let her because you love her.
No, because she's bigger than I am.
You'll never guess what I'm holding in my hand. An invitation to speak at the Japanese Businessmen's Association dinner.
Now, we'll write them and tell them I can't make it.
Why?
Because I'm too busy now to write a speech.
I'll write the speech. Harriet's writing Supervisor Morris's speech. Oh, it'll mean so much to me to feel I'm doing something really useful, please.
Oh, but I don't want to go. I don't like those things. It's all that phony public relations. Dinners, receptions, cocktail parties. I mean, it's not why I took this job.
But it's important that the people get a chance to meet and talk with their leaders. And it's important for you to hear what people feel about things. It's a vital part of democracy.
Maybe you're right.
Then you go.
I'll go.
Dan, you have a second? I've got a little tiny problem. How do you bring a dead person back to life?
God knows.
But how do I find out?
Still working on the speech, dear?
Yes. Oh, forgive me for being sprawled out like this, Audrey. But I read somewhere that people get their most creative ideas when they're lying down.
I know Jonathan does.
Phyllis, I looked all through my library, and this is the only volume I have on Japanese-American relations.
Oh, 30 seconds over Tokyo.
Sorry.
How's it coming, Phil? Oh, I think I'm beginning to get a severe case of writer's block.
Don't we have some little pills for that?
It's not that kind of block.
Well, how far have you gotten? Well, the opening is exquisite. Listen. The distance between the land of the rising sun, Nippon, and the land of the setting sun, California, is 5,150 miles. However, that's all there is.
That's the secret of a good speech. Always keep them wanting more.
Phyllis, maybe we have some magazines up in the bedroom that might help you.
I'll go with you, dear. I don't like to be too far behind in case Jonathan gets one of his creative ideas.
Can I talk to you for a minute? Dear, I'd love to, but I just have to get started on this speech. Dan's counting on me, so it has to be very good. It's one of the most important things I've ever done in my life.
I just wanted to ask you some questions about birth control.
Let's chat.
Are you sure that you have time?
Quite sure. Now then, what's on your mind?
Well, you know, in the dorms at school, I hear a lot of different statements about birth control, you know?
No, I didn't.
I just wonder what method you thought was best.
Well, the coil method.
The coil method? I'm serious.
Well, maybe I'm very old-fashioned. But the safest and most effective method is simply to say no.
Is that the only advice you can give me?
Well, there are other ways you can try. No thanks, Buster. Or beat it, creep.
What about after you're married?
That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Why are you asking me about this now? I mean, you haven't. You wouldn't.
It's just that I think this is something I should know more about.
Oh, well, good. But, Bess, I want you to know that whatever you do, you're my daughter, and I love you. And I only hope you don't tell me about it.
Listen, you're busy with your speech. We can talk about this another time. There's no hurry.
Fine. Well, back to work. You probably think it's silly to get so excited about this, but it's my first speech, and it's very special to me. I guess the first time you do anything, it's really exciting. Not every first time.
I have some wonderful news for you, Mr. McCoy. You're not dead.
Hot diggity.
Yes, I haven't been able to convince the city yet, but I do have some more information on it. It seems there's another Billy Joe McCoy from San Francisco.
Another Billy Joe McCoy? Now, ain't that something? Golly. I'd like to meet that guy.
Afraid I have some other news. Afraid it's not very pleasant.
What is it, Supervisor?
The other Billy Joe died last December.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry I had to be the one to tell you.
It all seems so senseless.
Lord knows there are some things beyond our comprehension. We have to have faith it's for the best.
I'll bet he was a wonderful man.
Probably led a rich, full life.
Oh, why couldn't it have been me?
Well, for the moment, we're not sure it wasn't. But I'm still working on your problem, Mr. McCoy.
Thank you, Supervisor. I'd like to send some flowers to that poor fella's grave. What was his name again? Oh, yeah.
Well, take your time. I'll be right out here when you finish reading it.
Harriet, I do hope Dan likes what I wrote.
You know, we really should have compared notes. I hope we didn't write the same speech.
I don't think we wrote the same speech.
Lindstrom, you want to come in here?
Just read it.
I feel like a schoolgirl waiting for the teacher to grade my exam, waiting to find out I've got an A or a B or a C. Oh, Harriet, I've been so nervous since my honeymoon.
How'd that turn out?
B-. Well, what do you think?
Lindstrom, what are you facing that way for?
Because I know if you could see my face, you could tell how much it means to me that you like what I've written. And I know you'd realize how deeply I'd be hurt if you don't like it. And I don't want to influence you in any way.
Lindstrom, turn around. You're right, it was better the other way. Lindstrom, I read your speech here, and I thought it was... I thought it was very good.
Very good? You did?
Yeah.
Oh, Dan, thank you. Thank you. Very good. You did say very good. Harriet, come here, quick! Tell Harriet what you told me.
Very good.
I can't tell you what this means to me.
Well, you understand it's not perfect.
Oh, of
I mean,
course.
I'll have to make a few changes.
Oh, it's only natural you want to rephrase things slightly, put it into your own speech rhythm.
Yeah.
But the main thing is you like what I've done. That's all that matters. Oh, Dan, thank you, thank you, thank you.
How's it going?
Oh, Phyllis, don't you look lovely? Where are you going?
Oh, that Japanese businessman's dinner.
Isn't that nice. When did you become a Japanese businessman?
Supervisor Valenti is reading the speech I wrote tonight, and I don't want to miss it.
I thought you said you weren't invited.
I'm not, but I'm not about to pass up the chance to hear my first political speech performed live. Besides, someone has to be there to cry author when it's finished.
Oh, I do admire what you've done, Phyllis. I myself never had any talent for writing. I once tried to write a short story, and it came out to over 700 pages.
Why didn't you turn it into a novel?
Oh, who wants to read a novel about a cat's birthday party?
Gee, you look great, Mom. Oh, thank you, Bess. I'll be back in about an hour or so, then we can have our little chat.
Chat about what?
Oh, well, I was just going to tell Bess all about birth control.
I'd rather not tonight, Phil. I have a headache.
I think she already knows.
Well,
Good luck tonight, dear.
oh, Audrey, thank you. Oh, I do hope this speech is a success.
I remember my very first speech in court. I was a young, inexperienced lawyer. Our case looked hopeless as I approached the jury for my final summation. I've never forgotten that closing statement. Before you condemn this man, I beg you, ask yourselves this question. How will the cause of justice be served by punishing him to the full extent of the law? Do we not, in fact, degrade ourselves by stooping to the primitive code of retribution? Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. And who are we to play God before men? Yes, I'd say it was that speech that got him off.
Well, that must have given your career quite a boost.
Not really. You see, I was the prosecuting attorney.
Never could figure out how to work these chopsticks. Think anybody'd mind if I asked for a fork?
They might, yeah.
You're right. I'll use my own. Boy, sitting like this is murder on my back. Why do the Japanese sit in chairs when they eat?
Probably because the tables are so low.
Can I help you?
I work for Supervisor Valenti. In fact, I wrote the speech he's going to give tonight. Would it be all right if I just stood here quietly and listened?
Of course.
Oh.
Could I get you something? Sake?
No, thank you.
May I have your attention, please? I'd like to thank you all for coming here tonight. And now I'd like to introduce our first speaker, a recently appointed member of the Board of Supervisors, a man with a long and distinguished record in the field of labor relations, Supervisor Dan Valenti.
I wrote the speech he's going to give.
Yes, you told me.
Mr. Harahara, gentleman of the Japanese Businessmen's
His
Association.
speech, I wrote it.
なんて言ったんですか？
彼女が書いたんだよ。
あ、そう。
I don't have much to say. Just that it was a great dinner with some great company. And let's all do it again sometime soon. Thank you for having me.
She said it was a very good speech.
Tell her to go suck an egg roll.
Just as well your speech was short. I've got a lot of points to cover.
Our next speaker is also a distinguished member of the Board of Supervisors and a member of one of San Francisco's most prominent and oldest families, Supervisor Leonard Marsh.
Oh! John. My back. Mr. Hirohara?
Distinguished guests, members of the Japanese Businessmen's Association, I'd just like to say that whatever this man says goes double for me.
I guess that concludes our annual dinner. Now, we've set up some entertainment in the adjoining room, which will be starting very shortly.
Excuse me, is there an acupuncturist in the house?
I don't think so.
I think I better help him out. Come in. Lindstrom, I can't find those rezoning applications.
Neither can I.
All right, what's on your mind?
I went to that Japanese businessmen's dinner last evening.
Oh?
I went to hear the speech I wrote, the speech I worked so hard and so long on, the speech you said you liked, the speech I was so proud of. Went to hear the speech.
How'd you like it? I guess I owe you an apology.
You guess! I worked day and night on that speech, neglecting my maternal duties. If my daughter becomes pregnant, it'll be your fault. And you guess you owe me an apology? Well, I was going to give you this at the end of the day, Supervisor Valenti. I think I'll give it to you now.
What's this?
It's my letter of resignation.
Oh, come on, Lindstrom, don't quit. Now, wait a minute. Look, I'm sorry. I should have never lied to you. It's just that I know how much that speech meant to you, and I don't want to hurt your feelings. It's a lesson to me. No matter how good the reasons may seem at the time, you should never lie. You should always tell the truth.
Well, I don't understand. Why didn't you use my speech?
My dog ate it. I'm sorry, listen, the speech just wasn't right.
What wasn't right about it? Huh? Show me. Be specific. Before I go, I'd like to know.
I don't seem to have a copy.
I do. Here. Okay, now, tell me, what wasn't right about it?
All right. Now, just listen to this. The distance between the land of the rising sun, Nippon, and the land of the setting sun, California, is 5,150 miles. However, tonight, as I stand here before you, how small that distance seems. Now, let me tell you what Japan means to me. J is for jasmine. The sweet scent of the oriental blossom. A is for aso. The gentle phrase that acknowledges mutual understanding. P is for pearl and the pearls of wisdom that flow from the east. A is for aso again.
You try to think of another A.
And N is for Nippon. Let me tell you what Nippon means to me. N is for...
Well?
It's not me.
It's not you?
It's silly, pretentious, superficial, and phony.
It's me. Obviously, I am ill-suited for this position. It's just as well that I have tendered my letter of resignation. Would you care to look at it?
Dear Supervisor Valenti, I worked like hell writing that speech for you, and you didn't have the decency to read it. Well, stick it in your ears, Supervisor. I quit. Hey, Lindstrom, that's quite a letter.
Thank you.
No, I mean it. I mean, that's probably the best letter of resignation I've ever read.
It is?
Yeah. I mean, it's concise, to the point. It puts it right on the line. I mean, that's good writing, Lindstrom.
Does sort of have a flow, doesn't it?
If you wrote me a speech like this, I'd be proud to read it.
You would?
You bet I would. Lindstrom, are you sure you want to quit?
Well, I don't know. I mean, this may only have been luck. Tomorrow I may be just as lousy at my job as I always was.
Lindstrom, you're not lousy at your job. I mean, even though you wrote a speech that stinks, I mean, I know how hard you worked at it. You know, you showed you cared about your job. And I consider myself lucky to have you on my staff. Besides, I like you.
I like me, too. But I have to know that I'm doing a good job. Otherwise, there's no point in my staying.
Tell you what. I'm going to take your resignation. I'm going to put it in my desk. And if I'm ever disappointed in your work, I'll take it out and accept your resignation. Is that a deal?
It's a deal.
You're watching ALN. Here's what's coming next.